and Tony podcast brings you
The Mild Manner Movie Review with your host Tim,
and Tony. On this week's episode, we will be talking about Avengers Infinity War.
along with special guest, resident Marvel expert Justin Oliveira.
Hey.
Are you not entertained?
But tonight, we dine in hell!
Great Scott.
You play ball like a girl!
We're on a mission from God.
Life finds a way.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
We came, we saw, we kicked its ass.
All right. So like we said, we have special guest Justin Oliveira on. And usually we kind of talk about like what we do new this past week, but we decided to ask you a few questions, get the few listeners to know who you are. You're one of the Biscuit Bros. Got to mention that.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. Probably eating the most dog biscuits out of anybody. All right, but got some few Marvel questions and superhero questions for you.
I have a Marvel question.
Marvel. Who is your favorite Marvel character?
It's tough to choose just one. I mean, honestly, I really could pick just a group and pick from there. I mean, top of my head, I'd say Groot, Deadpool, Black Bolt, Thanos, and
Carnage. Okay.
Yes,
Nice.
would be my slew. Got to include some villains in there.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Is there a character from the comics that you would like to see in live action?
That hasn't already.
Yeah,
been
that
done.
hasn't already, or someone you'd
Or
like to see done
redone,
better.
yeah.
Yeah. So one for sure, Nova. I want to see, especially with the Guardians of the Galaxy, them bring Nova into it, which I think more than likely it might happen down the road. But definitely one that technically was already in a movie, but I want to see done correctly is Galactica.
Okay.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, that giant blob.
Blob,
really
yeah.
out.
That's really good.
Seems
Oh,
like
you didn't like that?
Oh, this is my favorite movie when we go down the list,
Yep. What? Okay. Speaking of that, what is your favorite non-Marvel or non-MCU Marvel movie?
Blade Trinity.
I was gonna say, very
I knew you were
specific movies there.
I knew you were going to say that.
No.
Please
I
elaborate.
have to say non-MCU would have to be Logan for sure. I absolutely love that movie.
That's pretty funny. Yeah. So we randomized a bunch of movies for next week, and Logan was one of the 5, and it won. So we will be reviewing that next week.
Yeah. Oh, dude, yeah. It's just, I feel like that is how, like, Wolverine finally got his treatment there. Like, that is how a Wolverine movie should have been made from. And that the Old Man Logan comics are some of my favorite just for the storytelling purposes. I mean, so that movie really did it justice, especially after looking at Hugh Jackman, or as I like to call him, Hugh Jackman, in X-Men 1. I mean, so, yeah, definitely a thing.
Nice. All right. What got you into superheroes or Marvel? When you were a kid, or if it was later, or TV, comic books, movies? What started it?
It was actually when I turned 30. I got really heavily in. No.
Yesterday.
Yeah, just when you invited me on, I just watched as much as I could. No, I just when I was a little kid, I think I got some comic books from like a thrift store, and it just happened to be a few X-Men comic books were the first that I read and got into, and it just really kind of changed my life. I've been reading comic books I think that was probably when I was like maybe 7 or 8, so for quite some time, and it just evolved. I liked to read, and it just kind of, it was those cool guys everyone kind of loves and wants to be a superhero, and then I jumped from like X-Men to Spider-Man to actually the Inhumans that's why definitely one of my favorite comic book storylines. But really just dove into it because it's kind of that fantasy world where you can get lost into, and so it just kind of took me over as a kid.
Nice. Yeah, I would say for me at least, like that Spider-Man animated show. I mean, Batman, Spider-Man, and X-Men were all right around that same time,
They were all right
which
around
kind of
that.
kick-started it into the comics and then movies, and for me at least.
Yeah, it was definitely the animated stuff. And then just, and actually, kind of in an odd way, the Warner Brothers store. Like, when there was actually a brick-and-mortar store, like the Warner Bros.
Yeah.
store. Just because they had all the different movie stuff that they had, and I was like, oh, all this stuff. It was mostly Batman, Superman, but
Yeah.
that's what started on that line, and then the Marvel shows,
And now we have like a billion things to keep up
and
with.
now there's too much.
And last one.
Two of the best. Two of the best animated shows, I think, hands down. The X-Men and Man animated series. As a kid, those two were definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, in the theme songs as well, like they still remind people. You just play like one or two notes, and people are like, "Oh, I know exactly what that is."
All right, and I know you have a Groot tattoo on your leg. I think we have a picture of it. Why a Groot tattoo? And how much does your wife love it?
I mean, it looks good, so that's
favorite tattoo master. She just raves about it. I always Groot was one of my favorites. One of my first comics that I actually read was Guardians of the Galaxy, and it was one of the very first introductions to Groot. And I kind of just always loved his story, how he was kind of this loner, one of a kind, didn't have anyone else as far as like race wise, that they were wiped out. And just as a kid, I was kind of that little loner kid as well, so I think I kind of just bonded to that. So I've always had a thing for Groot, and when I decided to tattoo on my leg, I was like, I don't know if I should go the comic book Groot route because it is very dark and scary looking esque, and I went more the movie route, and so
Vin Diesel.
And the wife loves it.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah, and then also people don't know that you have a dog named Drax as well.
I do.
Yes.
And I do have a
awesome
new dog named Marv, which is short for Marvel.
Oh, really?
Cool.
I was gonna say, or from Home Alone. That'd be funny too.
Oh yeah, it's dual purpose. It is
dual purpose.
Okay.
Whatever you want.
Nice. All right. Yeah, that's. I mean, unless you want to talk a little bit more about yourself, but yeah, that's all the questions I got. We can.
No, I'm a loser.
I'm a loser.
Good, we can move on.
All right. Let's move right into trivia.
Truth is, I am Iron Man.
I'm Spartacus! I'm Spartacus!
I didn't do Audacity because I don't know how it will work with this. So I just hope everything's right. Otherwise I'll be pissed.
I am the father.
And I don't want to check it because that might stop it.
Vengeance. I am the knight. I am Batman.
I am the Clit Commander!
Yes, I'm Batman.
I'm rich, guys!
This week the theme is Avengers Infinity War.
All right. And then we'll just go me, Tony, and then Justin will be the order for everything, just because it's easier. It's on that outline.
Be the ringer.
Yeah. All right. So my person, the 4 movies on their IMDb. First one, Avengers: Infinity War. Second one, Riddick. Third one, Guardians of the Galaxy. And the fourth one, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
There's only one name really popping into them. I think there's a double meaning too.
That's who I want to say.
Any guesses?
Is he best friends with Paul Walker?
No.
Oh.
What?
Yeah.
Who else was in that? Or are you just saying that because Paul Walker is no longer with us?
I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe fuck yourself. Oh, yeah, okay. Because, well, so outright I'd say Vin Diesel, but
That is incorrect.
yeah, that's. Who?
I'll give you another. I can give you another one if you want. Another movie.
Sure.
He was in Blade Runner 2049.
Is it Batista?
It is. Yes.
Really?
Yeah, he was in Riddick too. I
Oh.
figured that would throw you guys off.
Yeah, it is because I didn't think he acted.
I didn't know he was in Riddick.
No, I haven't seen Riddick either. So, all right. Random facts about him. He is an accomplished breakdancer. He is a keen collector of steel lunchboxes.
That I knew.
And then in an interview prior to Spectre, which he was also in, he stated that his two favorite James Bond movies were Goldfinger and Skyfall, which are my two favorite James Bond movies. And that's all I got. So we're very similar, obviously.
Best friends.
Thanks.
Okay. Let's go with who am I? Known for Avengers Infinity War, Person of Interest, and Black Panther.
Only 3?
Yep.
M'Baku? M'Baku? That guy?
I would prefer a real name.
A real name? Yeah, what's
But
right?
The last one was Person of Interest.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I must have been on like 1 or 2 episodes.
Was I right though? Was
Yes,
him?
it's Winston Duke.
Winston Duke.
Oh. I'm back.
But,
It's like one of my favorite
otherwise
characters.
known as M'Baku. Yes.
M'Baku.
All right,
Oh wow. Okay.
you guys ready? Oh, random facts.
Yeah.
Yes, and I have one that's pretty interesting. He went to school with YouTube star Jenna Marbles.
I don't know who that is.
You know, oh, okay. She's big on YouTube.
Okay. Is she a YouTube star?
Yes. And then he attended Yale School of Drama with Lupita Nyong'o.
Oh wow.
So they've just been starring in movies together
Yeah.
now. But yeah, those are my 2 random facts.
All right.
Right.
So, I wrote down 2 just in case you guys took one of mine. So I don't want to have to choose which one. All right.
We could do both.
So, oh well, yeah. One is a little bit better than the other. All right, I'll go with this one.
Do the better one then.
First one is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Second is Guardians of the Galaxy. Third is Avengers Infinity War. And 4 is Gilmore Girls.
Oh, I know it.
Do you?
Yeah.
My guess is.
What's your guess?
Nebula.
Wrong.
Wrong.
That's wrong, right? It's Sean Gunn.
Yep.
Oh, that is
Yep.
a good one. You know, and I did know that because we've seen him in a panel, and they definitely ask him Gilmore
Gilmore
Girl
Girl.
questions all the time.
It's actually
Yeah.
most of his questions
Yeah.
are about that.
So the interesting facts. He's the former mate of fellow DePaul classmate Judy Greer.
Oh.
He is the former brother-in-law of Jenna Fisher.
Oh wow.
And he plays fantasy baseball with the lead singer of Rush, Geddy Lee.
That is a very random one. How does that even come about? Even if you're famous, like.
No.
You know what? What's your email?
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
feel like
send
he's
you
meeting
one.
Rush. Like, hey, by the way, fantasy baseball guy. Yeah, okay, join me.
Big time.
All right, I'm curious of what your second one was.
See, baseball. second one?
Yeah.
All right. Where's that? All right. Movies are Beast of No Nation, Thor Ragnarok,
Oh, I know this one.
The Losers, and Star Trek Beyond.
Oh, yeah, I know this one for sure.
Ooh. I guess would be Tessa Thompson?
Yep, it is Idris Elba.
Ooh.
Yep. So that one I figured would be easier. The random facts are what got me with him. Number one is he's a disc jockey. He's a DJ under the name of Big Driss Londoner, which I just found out today. He played Coachella.
What?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Double dipping is what he's doing.
Also, he's not a fan of the band Oasis because the lead singer apparently roughed up his hat at a concert or something, so he's not a huge fan of them. And he's actually the only man to ever appear on the cover of Maxim.
Oh, now, yeah, those are some pretty interesting facts there.
Yeah. Not a IMDb.
You know what? That's what I like about our guests is their trivia doesn't come from IMDb, so it's a lot more interesting than what we got.
Hey, you wouldn't have known Dave Bautista as a breakdancer if it wasn't for me. All right, random facts about the movie, though. Thanos' reality-bending attacks on Mantis and Drax during the fight on Nowhere are callbacks to a scene in the original comics, Your Shirt, Infinity Gauntlet, where Nebula was transformed into ribbons and Drax was sliced into cubes.
I remember that.
Yeah,
from when
reading
we
it,
read
yeah. Yeah, so I thought that was cool. And just seeing that from the comics and that is pretty sweet. Then this movie crossed the worldwide box office mark of $1 billion in 11 days after its release.
Insane.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that this one's going to do it in 5.
In the preview.
Probably a
On
week.
Thursday.
It,
Probably a week.
They're thinking that it might be able to do it the weekend because it's projected 750 right now, from the weekend.
That's intense.
That's crazy. And then they're saying, I don't know if they're saying Lion King could beat it, but I don't think so.
I don't think so.
No.
I guess it's a wider market and not everyone's a Marvel fan, but everyone loves these movies and they've already made billions.
Right.
So I don't
Made
know.
$7 or $8 billion movies. So.
And not a lot of people want to see Mufasa die again, so
And that looks real.
yeah.
Yeah. More real. How about I get in the movie theater?
Man, show up late. Tell me when it happens.
My random facts about the movie is this is the first time in the MCU history that Bruce Banner communicated directly with the Hulk between the two. And then my other fact is that, well, it's more of a cameo, but the fact is that Sir Kenneth Branagh, who directed the first Thor movie, can be heard at the beginning of the movie issuing the distress transmission that the Asgardian ship was being attacked. So that's his voice.
Yeah. Cool.
Figured that they do a lot of that, bringing the directors back and. Can't wait for Taika to come back and.
So the two I had, I actually learned this one a long time ago, and it always kind of amazed me. I still can't believe it, but the scene where Spider-Man's Spidey sense goes off, it's actually not CGI. The Russo brothers came out and said that it was actually someone on Tom Holland's ear to cause his hair to raise up.
Wait, they what?
It's not CGI. Someone literally just is in the background blowing on his ear, and it causes his hair to raise up on his arm. And I saw they joked around about how would you like to be the person who your job on the set was to blow in Tom Holland's ear.
Yeah, I'd take that job.
I kind of want to see the behind the scenes of that.
Where they put him.
Yeah. In the second one, it was actually pretty astounding when I looked this up that in the final credits for the Avengers Infinity War, there are over 10,000 names in the final credits that roll. In comparison, Titanic, Avatar, and together combined for almost 10,000.
Wow.
Jeez.
That's insane. It's like almost. I was thinking. I think they said there was like 3,000 shots in the movie, and like 2,900 of them are CG.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for our main event, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Hold on to your butts.
This week we will be talking about how the Avengers and their allies must be willing to sacrifice all in an attempt to defeat the powerful Thanos before his blitz of devastation and ruin puts an end to the universe in Avengers Infinity War.
All right, I will go first with my top 5. My honorable mentions, the score, just the score and soundtrack, even though there's only one actual song, Rubber Band Man, is just great though when that comes on. But like all the Avengers theme in the background, and then I think they do Black Panther's theme when he shows up. The cast is great, but that's from all the other movies, I feel like. The Spidey sense, funny that now I like it even more that someone's blowing on his ear. I think that's funnier. The Iron Spidey suit was awesome because it's just like spot on from the comics, from Civil War comics. And then the Thor and Rocket scene where he's talking about how old he is and that Thanos hasn't fought him before, and he's like, "Oh, he has." He's like, "He hasn't fought me twice though." It's like, just love that scene. And like it's like funny, and then it gets serious after a little bit, and then funny again. Great scene.
Sad.
Yeah. And then all right, so my number 5 though is Drax. Just like every scene with him is just comical. Like, how long have you been standing there? An hour? An hour? I have mastered invisibility. Or, are you yawning during my speech? Yeah, right when you said we need a plan, I started spacing out. Then what else is there? There's so many good ones. But yeah, he was hysterical in it. Then number 4 would be like the final battle, the Battle of Wakanda there. Just like when they open up the gates and have everyone, Banner in the Hulk suit or Hulkbuster suit's awesome. Thor showing up, and then you get I love the girl fight with Wanda, Okoye, and what's her name? Black Widow is awesome. Number 3 is Bruce Banner. He's got like very good interactions with everybody. He's reconnecting with people he hasn't seen in years, and then he's learning about things he hasn't known about. Like, there's a Spider-Man and an Ant-Man. Like,
what do you mean the Avengers broke up?
yeah, like a band. Yeah, he's got some good ones. Let's see. Oh, and I love his when he shows up at Strange. How it's pretty much like a shot for shot from the comic book. Instead of Silver Surfer, it's him. My number 2 is the fight with Thanos on Titan, and like the fight without Thanos on Titan when they show up and they think they're all against each other because they think that they're working for Thanos the whole time. But I think, what is it, Strange? Who is your master or whatever?
What master do you serve?
What master do you serve? What am I supposed to say, Jesus? Just great.
I'm not from Earth. I'm from Missouri.
That is Earth, you idiot. Yeah. Then even like that fight when Spider-Man, like just the way they work together. Mostly like Strange just helping everybody, it seems like.
Which is really cool. Like I don't know why they don't do that more.
When Star-Lord flicks him off and falls into the hole, and then Spider-Man's jumping through the portals. Magic with a kick. Like, just keeps yelling at him. And then number 1 is just the character interactions. We get some crazy ones, like Thor with the Guardians, half the Guardians with Tony, Doctor Strange, and Spider-Man. Let's see, like Black Panther with Bruce Banner, just like the weird ones like you don't see coming.
When they show up, he's like, "Oh, are we supposed
Yeah,
to?"
we supposed to bow. And
He's
he
like,
bows.
"He's a king."
Yeah. Yeah, and then even like Rhodey seeing Captain again. I mean, they probably haven't seen each other in 3 years, so that was like just all
At
of
least,
it. Yeah. But there's some good ones. Mainly like anytime the Guardians interacted with anybody, though, is just classic.
Because yeah, that's just setting up the rest of everything.
Yeah.
So that was cool to see everyone. So those are your top.
That's my top
cards. All right. So for my honorable mentions, probably gonna be a lot of duplicates, I'm assuming, but the humor in the movie, just like for how serious it is, there's still that little the lightheartedness through everything. And then also the score, which just being able to hear the Avengers score throughout the movies, and then how it developed and how they use it in this, it's just great. And then my number 5 is the opening scene and how it kind of just sets the tone, where it's like the movie right before was like, oh yeah, as Guardians, they're safe, and then they're all dead. It starts off, they're all dead, and Loki dies, Hulk loses, Thor loses, and it's just preparing you for what's going to happen. And then my number 4 was the surprise character with the Soul Stone.
Yeah, I was gonna put this, but I saw you had it already. It's a good one.
One, because it's like, okay, they finally told us where the Soul Stone was and why no one had it, or where what the deal was. And then when you see that floating thing, you're like, that voice sounds kind of familiar, kind of like a German guy. And then you're like, oh, that's who it is.
Yeah.
It's the Red Skull. He's back.
I thought it was the same actor too until I got out of the theater.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah. I thought it was the same. The guy who did it is from Walking Dead. Does like a spot on impression of him though.
Yeah, so that was cool that we got to actually see that, and then what you had to do to get it and all of that stuff. And then like you said earlier, the my number 3 is the different groupings of the heroes. So like seeing them all, the girl fight, Thor with the Guardians,
Or Spider-Man,
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange, just great.
Yeah,
those
exactly.
two.
That shows the humor as well. So that's my number 3. Number 2 is just Thanos. Somehow they made the villain almost like, well, why can't we root for him now? Like they in a movie where he kills literally half the universe, we're like, well, but maybe he was kind of.
Why is there an endgame? He won.
He did what he wanted to do. End of story.
It literally ends on his face, just like he's just like happy, like yep, did it, done.
Just check that.
He's
check
like,
that.
I did good.
I did good.
Thanos did nothing wrong.
Is Endgame just like him, like he's just relaxing, watching TV?
It's like, what are you guys doing here? I'm finished.
Having a beer with a woman.
They all show up. He's like, "You're welcome."
Oh, you guys here to thank me?
Now you get your own movie. You get your own movie.
And then my number 1 is kind of how
I like how Thanos is now Oprah. Apparently.
yeah, right.
Yes.
Oh, that is a great comparison. And then my number 1 is how the movie kind of subverted expectations. So like everyone kind of went in like, all right, one of the main guys, or like one of the main Avengers is gonna die. Where it's like, okay, it was either Iron Man or Captain America. Everyone's like, okay, they're dead. And they subverted it by killing off all the new ones and just keeping the original 6 alive. And then a couple other things, like even the Soul Stone was like people thought it was just somewhere else, and then
thought it was in Wakanda because the battle seemed like they were protecting that, not Vision.
Right. But yeah, just overall how the movie subverted expectations and kind of took what people thought and went the opposite direction because it actually worked out better, I would say. So those are my top 5.
All right. So mine, Honorable mention. It's kind of one similar to both of yours. The score. I mean, the fact that it took just the Avengers theme and just changed the kind of the tone and the octaves of it to really just for different scenes, making it seem more dark and gloomy, and then the high pitch. It was done so well. I mean, it really set the tone for every scene it was essentially played in. But I agree with you on there.
Yeah.
My other honorable mention is definitely Red Skull. I mean, that was awesome to definitely see. Like, when you heard that voice, you're like, no, like, tying that all together was not something I expected, but it was definitely delightful to see.
Yeah, it made sense, too.
Number 5.
Yeah, go ahead. I was just saying it made sense.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Number 5 is for me is it's kind of like two-part. It's Thanos when he fought Captain America at the very end, and Thanos when he fought Tony Stark. I loved those two scenes together because it kind of showed this weird respect from Thanos, such a decent fight with him, and just to see that to where even in the Tony one, he eventually kind of stabs him and he says, I hope they remember you. Like,
right.
It's showing that that sense of respect. Number 4, Thor arrives in Wakanda. That scene when he just comes down, raining hell is amazing. Number 3 for sure is Thor meets the Guardian. Like, I could easily put this number 1, but that would have been just too easy. That whole, I mean, I could watch the way that was set up. It was hilarious. Number 2 for me are a little gloom and darker, but when Thanos kills Gamora, it's definitely one of my favorite scenes in the movie because it really, kind of how Tony said, it makes you like almost feel like you could root for Thanos, but it really showed that humanity side to him.
My second one would have to be Thanos makes the sacrifice, where he essentially kills Gamora. The reason why I like that scene so much was because it kind of how Tony alluded to, that it didn't make you necessarily root for Thanos, but it showed the sacrifice that he's making and almost gave him that human side to it, that he really did care for her, even as much as she made it seem like he didn't. So that's definitely my number 2. And my number 1, Spider-Man in the Snap.
Oh,
that's a really good
one. You picked like 2 really sad ones.
Yeah, I know. I went grim there, but
do we need to check on you? Are you okay?
But I mean, for honestly, like it being such how we touched, it had those humorous times. I think that's what made it such a great movie. It had those one-liners and that humor, but it also, on the flip side, was unbelievably dark.
Yeah, and emotional.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah, so I mean, like that scene, I think everyone, when he said, Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good, like everyone in the audience was like, what?
Well, now that you mention that, like I feel like how do you not mention the other character that got snapped away? I think the second saddest person after Spider-Man. If you're thinking of the same person I am.
I'm thinking of about 5 people.
Groot.
Oh, I was not thinking about him.
That one's and then James Gunn said that he said dad.
Especially with that knowing that, you're like, oh no.
Yeah, that was a brutal one too.
What I found about that, like Rocket doesn't know, is he essentially lost all the Guardians.
Yeah,
that's true. He has no idea.
Like he doesn't know. He lost everyone.
Yeah, and he has no idea that he did either.
Yeah, that'll be because I think they're alluding to that for Endgame, where it's him and Nebula, where it's like, hey, we're the last two.
Yeah, we need this to work. Yeah. All right. So we'll move on to a few problems with the movie. I'll go last on this one. So, do you want to go?
Okay, I'll go first then.
Or I'll go. My BS one was that we had to wait a year for Endgame, but I have a second one that I'm gonna save.
That's more problematic.
Yeah.
And mine's kind of like the meme of it, where it's what everyone thought after the movie. Just Star-Lord throwing a fit, where it's like it's understandable totally. Like that's the person, that's who he loves, and he wants all that stuff. But at the same time, you got to be like, all right, well, she's gone, so I can't do anything about that. We got to focus on what.
Cold-blooded.
It's his fault. It's all his fault.
All right, my rebuttal to this though is I've paid attention to the scene. I've watched this a couple times.
Oh,
it's like 5 minutes of him freaking out, and they still can't get the glove off. If you look in the background, Spider-Man and Iron Man are doing nothing. They're like holding his hand.
Okay, but doesn't also Star-Lord have rocket boots who could have taken the 5 minutes and been like, okay, let me try and boost with you guys?
Yeah, I guess, but
boom, gone.
If Iron Man and Spider-Man can't get it off, they're useless.
Well, I think if Star-Lord didn't,
if he didn't hit him, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then they could have had 20 minutes to do it, and everyone.
Yeah, they might have had a little bit more time.
I think they had plenty enough time. They're just trying to pass the puck.
Oh yeah, I mean you could have.
I understand. You gotta, sacrifice, a few trillion people for your boo.
Yeah. Who is already gone, by the way.
All right, well, then I would have to say that Star-Lord didn't throw a big enough fit, if anything. It should have been bigger.
Okay.
It could have been.
Big enough to kill him.
He should have flew up and just punched him right in the face. Didn't even ask him where Gamora is.
Especially after turning everyone into like
cubes and ribbons and. I got another one, but Justin, you can go.
All right. Mine is more with, I guess it ties to the comics, is Vision and Scarlet Witch being absolute just trash in the movie. Like, they are two of the strongest characters in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or in the universe, and they are just act like absolute bees.
They're both stones, basically.
Yeah.
Like, how are they not doing?
Yeah, Vision gets taken out pretty quick.
Absolutely, like his big scene is stabbing a dude. Like, really?
Yeah,
that's a very good point.
I agree. And my other one is, I feel like my other complaint is Thanos doesn't have that great of a imagination, because every time he uses the fucking reality stone, he turns things into bubbles. Why is it always bubbles? He turns when he shoots the gun, it turns into bubbles. Gamora, the knife she tries to stab herself with, turns into bubbles. Think of something else.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah, picture of when she tried to stab herself. It was a rubber ducky and it made like a squeak.
Yeah. Come on, be better, Thanos. All right. All right, on to our favorite quotes. I got 4 this week.
I think I put more than.
That's
usually what happens.
I could honestly do a bunch.
Oh no, I only have 3, but 3 long ones.
Okay, my first one is when the Guardians run into Tony Stark, Peter Parker, and Doctor Strange. He's like, everybody stay where you are. Chill the F out. I'm going to ask you this one time. Where is Gamora? And Tony Stark's like, yeah, I'll do you one better. Who is Gamora? And then Drax goes, I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora? And also, like, one of my favorites is when Tony's got him pinned down. He's like, I will blow him up. He's like, do it, Quill. I can take it. He's like, he cannot take it. But that's one of them. My second one is Bruce when they're all at the Avengers headquarters or whatever, and who's Scott? He's like, Ant-Man? He's like, there's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man? Just how out of the loop he is.
Everything he's missed.
Yeah. 3 is Peter Parker on the bus. He's like, hey, He's like talking to Ned. He's like, I need you to cause a distraction. And Ned's like barely paying attention to him, sees the spaceship. Holy shit, we're all gonna die. Like runs to the back of the bus. And then we get that awesome Stan Lee cameo. And then my last one is when Thor meets the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's like, the Avengers? Quill's questioning him. He's like, they're Earth's mightiest heroes. Mantis goes, like Kevin Bacon? Thor's like, he may be on the team. I don't know. I haven't been there in a while.
Which is another great one.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like banners, like Spider-Man and him. Flows.
Yeah, but those are just a few.
Yeah. All right. We'll jump into mine. So mine is when Thor and Rocket and Groot are on the... I'm not even going to try and pronounce it.
That's a fake word.
The Nidavellir or Nid whatever. And he's talking with Eitri.
Oh.
Yeah, there you go. That's the one. Eitri says, "You understand, boy. You're about to take the full force of a star. It'll kill you." And Thor says, "Only if I die." And he goes, "Yes, that's what killing you is. That's what that means." And then my second one is, I'm trying to see the whole thing. Oh, they're on the ship and trying to figure out a way to get Strange away from.
No, this is after.
Oh, it's okay. It's after.
It's right before the Quill and all them show up.
Okay, but it's Peter goes, "Let me just say, if aliens wind up implanting eggs in my chest or something, and I eat one of you, I'm sorry." And Stark goes, "I don't want another single pop culture reference out of you for the rest of the trip. You understand?"
Yeah, because they're trying to save Strange, he's like, "Have you ever seen this really old movie, Aliens?" And then it cuts.
Which is funny because Stark is the one that makes all the pop culture references.
His are just he calls old, but aren't that old.
And then my number 3 is when Thor shows up at the Battle of Wakanda. Steve sees him and he goes, "Oh, a new haircut?" And Thor says, "Looks like you've copied my beard. By the way, this is a friend of mine, the tree." And Groot goes, "I am Groot." Rogers says, I am Steve Rogers.
I love when he does like the chest.
I liked it because it's classic Steve Rogers, like being respectful to everyone he meets and making sure he doesn't offend anybody. But those were my 3 quotes.
Oh man. So I have 3 as well, and 2 of them are primarily, like we kind of talked in the beginning, just Drax and the Guardians on the ship. The first is when they first meet Thor, and Peter goes, "How the hell is this dude still alive?" Drax goes, "He's not a dude. You're a dude. This is a man, a handsome, muscular man." And Peter goes, "I'm muscular." Rocket goes, "Who are you kidding, Quill? You're one sandwich away from fat." Peter goes, "Yeah, right." Drax goes, "It's true. You put on weight." And then he gestures to his chin and belly.
The gesture is the best part.
Yeah, but then I love at the end, he says it so quietly, but to Gamora, he goes, "It's like a pirate had a baby with an angel." My second is when Peter and Gamora are talking about how, Thanos catches her to kill her, and they notice Drax standing there. He goes, "Dude, how long have you been standing there?" Drax, "An hour." Peter, "An hour? Are you serious?" "I've mastered the ability of standing so incredibly still that I've become invisible to the eye. Watch." And he slowly starts eating the food. He goes, "My movement is so slow that it's imperceptible." And then at the end, Mantis goes, "Hi, Drax." He goes, "Damn it."
Damn it.
And then my third is definitely is when they're on the ship, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, after they killed Ebony Maw, is when he goes, "I'm Peter, by the way."
Yep.
And Doctor Strange goes, "Doctor Strange?" And Peter goes, "Oh, we're using our made-up names now. Then I'm Spider-Man." It's just so subtle. Like, oh, we're using our made-up names.
Oh, right, okay. I've got one of those.
Oh, then I'm Spider-Man. I just love that. That's even like a callback to Doctor Strange when the villain in that one couldn't get his name right.
Yeah.
Mr. Doctor. Yes, it is strange.
Who am I to judge?
Yeah, those are, and I love that last one you had was in the trailer too. Like that was the one they gave us, and still one of the better ones.
Played
yeah.
Well.
Yeah, I could quote all of Drax's ones though. I think.
Yeah, that's like I said, man. That interaction on the ship with Thor and then just Drax in general it's some of my favorite.
All right, so we'll go on to recasting.
This monster of a task.
Yes, me and Tony have been doing it since we started with the Avengers, went on to Age of Ultron, then Civil War, and now this one. So real quick, just run through the ones we've had. So I have Thor, Patrick Swayze, Iron Man, Tom Cruise, Hawkeye, Mel Gibson.
How about I say the character,
sir, and then I'll say who I got. Got it.
Just to. So Iron Man, you said.
Tom Cruise,
Hawkeye,
Mel Gibson,
Nick Fury,
Kurt Russell,
Captain America,
Harrison Ford,
Bruce Banner,
Denzel Washington,
Black Widow,
Sigourney Weaver,
Quicksilver,
Matthew Broderick,
Scarlet Witch,
Winona Ryder,
Ultron,
Dennis Hopper,
Vision,
Patrick Stewart,
Winter Soldier,
Sean Bean,
Black Panther,
Wesley Snipes,
Falcon,
Billy D. Williams,
Ant-Man,
Michael Douglas,
Crossbones,
Michael Bean,
Spider-Man,
Sean Astin,
War Machine,
Will Smith,
Zemo,
Alan Rickman, Hans Gruber.
Okay.
All right, so now for the ones that we haven't, or that I haven't, Thanos, I'd go Ted Levine, Buffalo Bill.
Okay. I was like, I have no idea what it.
Or Michael Ironside, who voiced Darkseid in...
That's a good one.
Yeah, but I think I would go Ted Levine because Buffalo Bill would be funny as Thanos. Doctor Strange, I've had this one picked out since we did the Avengers, but Keanu Reeves. For sure, Keanu Reeves. And then I'd have Wong be Pat Morita from Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Because them two together, I think, would work. Then my Gamora is Lisa Bonet from The Cosby Show. So she also had a Mad Titan for a dad on that.
He also spoke in my graduation from college.
Did he really?
He was our speaker. So proud of that.
So proud. Then for Star-Lord, I'd go Woody Harrelson. Like, White Man Can't Jump Woody Harrelson. Rocket Raccoon, Joe Pesci. Like the Goodfellas, Why Am I Funny speech. I think Rocket, it'd be funny to see Rocket say that.
Do I amuse you?
Yeah, am I funny? Funny how? My Groot, I'd go Kevin Conroy, Batman. I think he's got a good gravelly voice.
But it's not enough to use him.
I think it
is.
is.
3 words.
3, not enough to use it. All right, well, I gotta save some money somewhere. So.
Oh, there's no saving money.
Back in the day,
we're sparing no expense here.
Sparing no. Mantis, I go Lucy Liu. This one I like. Drax, I go Andre the Giant. Anybody want a peanut? Just very, very different humor. I feel like in this movie. Nebula, Halle Berry. Red Skull, Ian McKellen. Okoye, Angela Bassett, and Suri would be Tatiana Ali from Fresh Prince, the sister.
Okay.
Probably.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. All right, go through yours.
Yeah.
I'll read off. All right,
Okay.
Thor,
Brad Pitt,
Iron Man,
Keanu Reeves,
Hawkeye,
Emilio Estevez / Mark Wahlberg,
Fury,
Ving Rhames.
Cap. I feel like they're both going to be playing Hawkeye.
they could just switch halfway through.
Cap,
Kevin Costner,
Banner,
Dennis Quaid,
Widow,
Michelle Pfeiffer,
Quicksilver,
Jerry O'Connell,
Scarlet Witch,
Mia Sara,
Ultron,
Anthony Hopkins,
Vision,
John Malkovich,
like that one, Winter Soldier,
Jude Law,
Black Panther,
Denzel,
Falcon,
Chris Tucker,
Ant-Man,
Freddie Prinze Jr.,
Crossbones,
Jean-Claude Van Damme or Jason Statham.
all right, Spider-Man,
Jake Gyllenhaal,
War Machine,
Jaleel White,
and That one I'm still questioning. And Zemo.
Watch Psych, and then it will be fine.
All right, but I feel like you casted all these in the 80s and 90s, and then his
Zemo is Christian Slater.
Modern day.
Well, there's a couple in this one too where I'm like, we're good.
Modern day.
Yeah. So for Thanos, I have 3 options. I break my own rules. So Christopher Lee, Javier Bardem, or / Tom Hardy.
So Bane.
Basically, yeah. Also, he could just his presence in a movie is just.
I was born with the stones.
Doctor Strange, I'm going with Alec Baldwin. Wong. This is more like Jurassic Park, but BD Wong. Basically, all the Wong characters have been named Wong.
Wong.
BD Wong. Gamora, Robin Wright. Star-Lord, Brendan Fraser. That was the one that I was listening. I was listening to a podcast with him on it, so that's while I was filling out the list, so that's where I got that one from. Rocket, I did Tom Hanks. Groot, I did Chuck Norris. Mantis, Z Zhang. She's the girl from Rush Hour 2.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's the one I went with.
I'm pretty sure.
Oh, no, it is. That's the one. Drax, I did either Kane or Stone Cold, and I said it had to be a wrestler.
Yeah, that's what I went with.
Nebula, Rosalind Sanchez, also from Rush Hour 2.
I know exactly what you're talking about, yeah. His old partner that is in Bomb Squad, that chick?
No, the other girl who like switches sides. They don't know whose side she's on.
Oh, I know who you're talking about now. Yeah,
like the CIA girl or whatever.
Yeah, was that 1 or 2?
2.
Okay.
You're thinking of 1.
Mm-hmm.
Also, good character. Red Skull, I did Christoph Waltz. Okoye, I did Jada Pinkett Smith, and Shuri, I did Gabrielle Union.
All right.
I like the Brendan Fraser throwing him there. So I went a mix of 80s and 90s and combined the two.
Perfect.
For mine, Thanos, Bruce Willis. Doctor Strange, Brad Pitt. Wong, Jackie Chan.
Nice.
Gamora, Julia Roberts.
Ooh.
Star-Lord, Tom Cruise. Rocket Raccoon. This one I'm actually proud of. Eddie Murphy.
Oh, that's a good one.
So Donkey.
Groot. One with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I feel like he could do a Groot.
It's 3 words.
Yeah, too many words.
It's too
I
many.
cut it down to just Groot.
Just Groot, maybe.
Mantis, I went Cameron Diaz. Drax, I went The Rock, early 90s.
Early 90s. Fanny Pack Rock?
Yep, Fanny Pack Rock. Nebula, I went Demi Moore. She already had the G.I. Jane.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Red Skull, I went with, because Hugo, the original Red Skull, so I was like, who could live up to that? Gary Oldman. I feel like would get into a nasty Red Skull. Okoye, I went Queen Latifah, and Shuri, I went Raven Simone.
Oh, no.
I like it. All right. Final thoughts of the movie. I'm trying to think. I was thinking of things that we might have missed, but we hit a lot of it.
Yeah, we pretty much covered almost all the. Actually, yeah, you're right. Pretty much everything.
Predictions.
Where do you want to start?
I'm thinking time travel, but I'm also thinking now I'm going to call out dimension jumps. I think that we made it that far that they would trust us to follow along with that. Like there's another Earth.
I could.
Just one though.
Just okay.
one other that we
of,
see,
instead of
not
like
like
setting up the whole.
Yeah.
I've seen that one because people have said that maybe that's why Stark has blonde hair.
Yeah,
it's like a different universe one.
Yeah, but I mean, Black Widow's got white and
her
then
hair
red.
is all over the place.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, time travel is an easy one that just because Ant-Man hinted at it a lot.
A lot of people I'm seeing like he comes back like years in the past or years in the future.
In the future, yeah.
Is what I see. What I think.
Did you get your ticket already, Justin?
I did.
Are you going Thursday or?
I'm going. I wanted to go Thursday, but at the movie theater, I go to. There's two particular seats that I like to go to that have an awesome kind of leg room. They didn't have it Thursday, so I chose Friday.
That's an excellent reason to put.
Yep.
Just one more day to stay off the internet, though.
Yep.
Yeah. Today I already was having trouble trying not to go on. Just
everything I've seen is just
testing it though.
Even with people saying it's like emotional and all that, it's like still like okay, that gives a lot away.
Yeah, I don't want to know anything.
I don't want to know anything going into it. Yeah.
I've stopped watching all like the TV spots.
See, I'm fine with those.
I'm gonna live like it's 1979 here. no internet.
Let's see. Yeah, other than that, I can't really. I mean, we hit a lot of the movie. Yeah, I just can't wait for Endgame now.
Yeah. Rewatching it and getting ready for Endgame is just
emotionally draining.
Seeing them how they're gonna top it is gonna be unbelievable.
Oh, I do have one thing. All the complaints that it's 3 hours and there's no like intermission. How do people sleep at night without wetting themselves if they're having trouble with 3 hours? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, like
complaining about. Yeah.
I've seen people asking like, don't give me spoilers, but let me know when there's a break I can go to the bathroom. And I'm like, what?
There isn't.
You're a grown person.
It's your own damn fault if you have to go to the
Maybe don't drink like 10 gallons of water right before, and then you won't have to go pee.
I mean, yeah, I could drink something during the movie and still not have to pee till after the movie.
Well, that's why there's extra large cups there. I mean, just kind of lean into the seat in front of you. No one will know.
That's why it's dark in movie theaters.
Right. Yeah, I just thought that was a funny complaint, though. And the last one was 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A half hour longer.
I mean, I guess you get 20 minutes of previews nowadays, but still, that's when you go to the bathroom.
Then you go to the bathroom then, yeah.
Does the preview count into the runtime?
No,
I don't believe so.
No, so it'd be like 3.5 hours.
The credits do though.
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, the credits count towards the runtime, but
yeah.
Also, I've heard. No, I won't. I've heard varying things on after credit scenes.
After credit, I'm just gonna wait anyways. We're going at 9:00 on Thursday. So we're going to be up late.
If you spoil it for me, our friendship is over.
Friendship is over. I'm going to somehow hack into Kirk's phone and send you spoilers from him.
KB's phone.
All right, I got nothing else now. That was the one thing I wanted to hit in the final thoughts. Anyone else?
No. I mean, all the predictions that you said, that's kind of, yeah,
all the theories that I've read.
Somehow they'll all be wrong too. Like they'll find
that's
a way.
I'm hoping for. I'm really hoping that my biggest hope from that is that all these the things that seem most likely is that they completely just shock us and blow our mind, and it's not bad at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. All right, we'll go on to our last topic: ranking movies. We're gonna rank our top 10 Marvel movies,
and this time we're keeping it at the top 10.
As a top 10, there are. I'm gonna start at honorable mentions.
My honorable mentions are the rest. So that's how I did this one.
All right, my honorable mentions, and we've ranked these before. Me and Tony ranked
mine
all
is
of them.
Definitely different.
Yeah, mine's different too. I couldn't find the old one. But my honorable mentions, just 'cause I love these ones, and they just weren't good enough. Or not good enough, but like couldn't cut it for the top 10. Winter Soldier, First Avenger, and Doctor Strange, which I also just watched that. And I forgot how much I liked it. Yeah, not enough for the top 10, though. Number 10, Civil War. Number 9, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Number 8, Ant-Man and the Wasp. Mainly just Pena. He almost got it bumped up, but I couldn't do it. Number 7, The Avengers.
The Avengers.
The Avengers. Number 6, Infinity War. 5, Spider-Man Homecoming. 4, Iron Man.
Ooh.
Switching it. 3, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Ooh.
2, Ragnarok. And 1, Ant-Man. I think... And
Infinity
you know what?
War is pretty low. Is all I would say about your list, but...
I don't know. I like the
don't
comedies.
have any problems with it.
I like the comedies more.
And I knew Ant-Man would be number one
dude,
for
it
sure.
Was, and then I was watching clips from Ragnarok. I was like, man, this could be number one. I might switch it. It was like, I love Paul Rudd too much to.
Did he though? Yeah, you're right. Ragnarok's.
Just
I think I haven't.
Korg in Ragnarok is one of my favorite characters in the MCU. I think. Piss off, Ghost. But those are my 10.
Okay, so I'll start with my honorable mentions are the ones that I don't mention in my top 10.
Even Thor: The Dark World makes
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Because Natalie Portman was also at the premiere last night. So is she in the movie? Who knows? What does that mean?
What does it mean?
Is Coulson alive? Who knows?
Tobey Maguire's gonna be in it.
That would be cool. Alternate dimension. But my number 10, Doctor Strange. Number 9, Captain America: The First Avenger. Number 8, Spider-Man: Homecoming. 7, Guardians of the Galaxy. 6, Winter Soldier. 5, Ant-Man. 4, Ragnarok. 3, Infinity War. 2, Avengers 1. And my number 1 is Iron Man. It started it. And there's just so much in that the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. This is so cool. So that's my list.
All right, for mine, I'm going to bring some controversy.
Bring it.
All right. My honorable mention is Captain Marvel.
Ooh, okay.
I didn't even think to put that on there.
That's included in the rest, so technically, yes. But okay.
I actually think they did a decent job. So, 10, The Avengers. I mean, that's got to be on the list because that just kind of started it all. 9, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. 8, Ant-Man. 7, Avengers: Infinity War. 6, Spider-Man: Homecoming. 5, Captain America: Civil War. 4, Guardians of the Galaxy. 3, Iron Man. Number 2, Black Panther. And number 1, Thor: Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's a solid list.
Got Black Panther up there.
Yeah.
Dude,
we both had a reaction similar, but justifiably, it's a pretty good movie.
It is. I mean,
I like it for more because I think that's the only movie, actual, I think cinematic-wise, that could almost stand alone. Is not being a superhero movie,
right.
Just being a fan of movies. I think if you saw a Black Panther movie, it could hold its own and not have to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to still be a credible movie.
Right, like the whole story basically takes place in itself almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that. And that one, I don't know, a different take on there because it's I feel like we already got an intro to him, so we didn't need to be introduced again, which was nice in that one.
Exactly why Spider-Man: Homecoming was so good.
Yeah.
Because we didn't see Uncle Ben die again.
I do have a complaint that you have Ant-Man way too low, though. I think, Justin, you had it at 8. Garbage. Got to pump those numbers up.
It's a rookie number.
Those are rookie. No, but those, good top 10. All right. That has been our show today. Hope you enjoyed it.
You can follow us on social media and our website, timandtonytalking.com. And remember, share this with your friends.
And make sure to join us next week for the Mild Manner movie review when we discuss Logan.
Same bat time, same bat channel.
Thanks for listening. I'm Tim.
I'm Justin.
And I'm Tony, and we are the Warriors 3.
Good
night.
night.